Today's story was written by Reddit user Random3x. Prince Garog of the Uleti Empire was on his way to a neutral piece of rock to meet ambassadors from a new race his people had detected recently. It was an annoying duty he, as one of the 100 princes of the empire, had to perform. The Uleti Empire preferred method of expansion was often conquest, but even they had to keep up appearances as civilized people. Throughout their history, they had never been one to start a fight. There was always a little insult here, or maybe a surprise attack on an inconsequential ship there. Nothing the shadows couldn't manage to frame the barbarians. Regardless, they would always have a casus belli for when they launched their invasions. So learning about the latest vassal state that he would have to play his part for was simply doing his duty. Your Highness, the humans have sent a collection of their files to help us understand them, one of his servants said, offering him a data slate. It was a common tactic amongst the universe's races to share displays of their mightiest warriors, to puff their chests up and roar at the mighty empire. The prince, though, knew there was no such race that had yet to not bow before the empire's might. With a flick of a talon, he opened the files provided. The humans seemed to be imbecilic, sending documents on science and mathematics. Did they believe the empire was uneducated? This right here could be a casus belli in of itself.
Brooker, is this all they sent?
The prince asked his servant. No, Your Highness. They were marked as the important files. They also send many files that seem to have vid attachments.
Ah, so they set up videos of their warriors in combat. Send them to my device so I may gaze upon their weakness.
Oh, how the prince would come to regret his words. The files were segmented into separate videos, each roughly 90 soktars long, but each showed feats of combat unmatched by anything even the Empire could manage. He could feel a cold sweat begin to form as his ship dropped out of FTL and entered the solar system of the humans.
So they have a thunder god with a great hammer, a mighty engineer in a suit of armour of great power, a man of true honour who can fight with a shield.
The prince listed off, just mentioning the mightiest warriors displayed in the file display marked as Avengers series.
Personally, I fear the robotic assassins,
his servant declared, showing a still image of a large muscular human with a single mechanical eye exposed.
Does the Empire have strength to face such monsters? No, Your Highness. I dare say with these videos, we may have to become subservient in this relationship. Yes, that may be best, the prince said with a nod before pausing. What was your favourite warrior display? The one named Rambo. He showed great skill in combat while still keeping it entertaining. Personally, I'm amazed that the humans even provided vids regarding both sides of the conflict. It is odd to know the details that even the warriors on display did not always know. Before the prince and his servant could get into further debate, they landed on the 4th planet in the solar system, where the humans had agreed to meet with them. It was a small colony recently established. Stepping out of the airlock, the prince was greeted by a few people in what he now knew were named suits. He knew the suited ones were the rulers of the world. This one greets the honoured representatives,
the prince said, gifting the human diplomats a bow he would not give anyone other than his father, the emperor. Seeing their reaction, the prince was certain this was the right call. The humans did not even react to this high honour. Surely they knew with their power, such deference was a given.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Your Highness. Would that be okay? Apologies. Monarchies are a bit limited on our planet, so I do not wish to cause offence.
The prince understood the humans' meaning. The human race had all but eliminated royals, and if the prince stepped out of line, they would unleash someone like the Superman on them.
Your Highness is an acceptable way to greet this one, the prince replied. Ah, good. We have a conference room available so we can speak at leisure, the human diplomat said as he led the way. May I ask something? The prince nodded. How did you like our little collection of movies? The human asked, turning to look over his shoulder. The prince audibly gulped. This was the true test now. Would he show his willingness to bend the knee and become a vassal of humanity? Or would he doom his race to extermination by terrible war gods like the Daleks? I would like to say that your displays left me without any doubt that a friendship between our races is in both our interests. Ah, good. Maybe I can arrange for you to meet some of the people in them. I'm sure they would be more than happy to visit your home planet. Please, no, that won't be necessary, the prince cried out in panic. Ah, sorry, bit too forward of me. We can organise that one day if we need to, the human replied with a threatening gesture of baring its fangs at the prince. Ah, here we are. Feel free to enter and settle in. I will make sure we have everything we need for a smooth meeting. The prince could see this was the final warning. Only the most important person would enter the room last in the Empire. To force the prince into the room first meant that they had accepted his unspoken vassalage. With a friendly nod, the prince entered and settled down into a chair. Harold was beside himself with joy. He had at first been panicking after he had been told an alien race wished to meet, and he was the one chosen to greet them. But he had studied up on all the etiquette he could manage to, even watching Downton Abbey a bunch of times to get at least a few of the customs down. What surprised him, though, was how calm and polite the prince was. The few other races humanity had met had made a point about the Yuleti Empire being extraordinarily arrogant and unpleasant to deal with, even warning they were a vicious race. But he could see it was likely just all a misunderstanding. Show someone the right respect, and they will respect you right back. Entering a nearby kitchenette where the refreshments were being prepared, Harold looked over the last few parts. Premium tea, sweets, savouries, and everything anyone could want. Oh, and Tom, Harold said, turning to his very helpful aide. Yes, sir? Your movie collection was enjoyed by the visitors. Good suggestion. Oh, great, Tom said with a grin. I considered adding horror movies, but thought they might not like them, so I kept it all with fun action movies and superhero stuff. Well, we will see if the whole Empire will love them. I'm sure we can negotiate broadcasting rights. Nothing like a cultural exchange to oil the gears of diplomacy, Harold declared as he took the trolley with snacks and drinks back towards the conference room.